4 sessions. Yeah, it's been an amazing journey so far. And I just want to take this opportunity to welcome you all to today's session. I am sure it will just be as exciting and engaging as the last one. I particularly enjoyed the last session. I think, you know, there was a lot of exploring with the simulations, and there was a lot to be learned there. I was just taking a look at the people that have joined the meeting, and I'm happy to see that we seem to have a consistency in the participants, which is great, right? Because then the knowledge is accumulative, and you know, you're learning more and more as you attend these sessions. Yeah. So as I said, we're on the third of the 4 series, and just a quick recap. In the first one, it was more orientation on what PhET is, you know, how it works, how to navigate the website, you know, how to join, how to access the information, especially the resources that are available. And then in the last session, which was the second session, we looked at the power of play in building foundational number sense in young children. And to this, we focused mostly on number play simulation, and we worked we learned on how to teach young learners how to count up to 20 using virtual simulations. And this was so much fun. I loved the participation. I loved how Zach, you know, continued to elicit responses and participation from the participants. And I hope that you will do that again today, Zach. That was amazing. Yeah, and I got the sense that everybody enjoyed the session. So definitely looking forward to today's session. Please stay tuned until the very end. And without further ado, I would like to hand over to Zach. Zach, please go do your thing. We're looking forward to this super exciting session. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Shola. And thank you, everyone, for joining in today's session. Today, we are going to focus on number compare. So this will be a bit different from the first 2 sessions, where we were specifically looking at number play PhET simulation. So I'm just going to put up a slide briefly, and then we will jump right into the simulation itself. And then we can go on from there. And as we do this, just like last time, I would like to encourage you to, you know, participate, to give feedback, to ask questions. Think about yourself as a, you know, that grade 1 kid, that kindergarten kid, or that grade 2 kid. Like, take yourself and put yourself in those shoes as we explore this PhET simulation. So let me share my screen briefly. Okay. Screen loading and slideshow from the beginning. Awesome. So as I have mentioned, today we are going to focus on comparing numbers. My name is Zach Mbasu from PhET Simulations. And this is the third webinar of the 4 webinar series that we've been having. And we are basically focusing on simulations that can help with teaching and learning of foundational and numeracy concepts. And today we'll be focusing on number comparison. And the aim of PhET is to make sure that our learners learn numeracy, they learn mathematics, they learn science by doing. So we want them to be hands-on as opposed to just particularly listening. So our objectives for today, we have 3 objectives. So first, basically just to understand how to count and compare numbers. And then we will do matching and also do counting strategies to compare sets of objects to see whether they are the same or whether they are different. And then the last activity that we'll be doing will be comparing 2 numbers to see if that number is greater than the other number or less than the other number or is equal to another number. So before we jump right in, I just want us to take a step back and think about this question. Think about this question. Can you think of like examples where we use comparisons in our just daily life? Where do we use comparisons? And I want you to think about that question. And I have prepared a Menti there. So I would like you to give your feedback, and specifically this feedback will go to menti.com. So if you open menti.com and then key in the code as 41895559. So go to menti.com and then use that code and then just type in your response on like what are the examples where you have used comparisons in your daily life. So I'll give you 2 minutes to type that and then we will proceed. So go to menti.com, use that code 41895559, and then type in your example where you've used comparison in your daily life. So the code is 41895559. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and go to Menti just to see what are some of your responses to real-world examples of where you use comparison. So let me stop sharing my screen and then I'll go to Menti. Okay, so this is loading up. Let me share this so that you can see the response. I can already see the number of responses. Let me share the screen again. So this is my screen, and we have so far 1 response. What are the real world examples where we use number comparison? And there is 1 response there that we use comparison to compare products based on prices, features, and reviews before making a purchase. For instance, when buying a smartphone, a consumer might compare battery life, camera quality, etc. Can we have a few more responses? For those who did not get the code is 41895559. What are the other examples where you use comparison in your daily life? So I come from a very a big family, and our mother, when she's giving us food, I would always peep into my brother's plate just to see is he having more than I have. So that's how I've used comparison in my life, or when we are sharing oranges, for example, just to make sure that I either have equal number of oranges to to my friend, or if it's an orange being cut into into fractions, then I'll just check whether my orange is bigger or smaller. And of course, I prefer a bigger one compared to the other person. Okay, we have a few more feedback. There is another one here that says physical appearance. So either like someone is tall compared to you, or the person is short compared to you. Someone else says wily cooking. I would, of course, definitely I would love if there were, like more specific example, like wily cooking. Exactly what do you compare, when you are cooking? Then we have another response here that says we compare measures, sizes, weight, age, and so forth and so on. So these are very interesting feedback. And maybe just to jog your mind, why do we compare? So these are examples that you've shared on like real world examples of where you use comparisons. But why do you compare? So if you could just drop in the chat reasons why you compare, and then we just see some of your responses, like why would you compare things? You have, of course, given good examples like physical appearance, wily cooking, measure, sizes, weight. Like, why is it important to make that comparison? Any input in the chat? Like, why would you of course compare things? Ashutosh Dabe says for better decision making. Of course, yes. Someone gave an example of, when you're buying things, you want to compare different prices. So you want to make sure that you get good value for the money and for the investment that you are making. So that's also very important. Thank you so much, for that feedback in the chat. Anyone else on why you think it's important to make the comparison, not to compare? Someone says, I do not know where you are. I can't get to the website. We are not yet on the website, so be patient. Ashutosh again says problem solving, setting benchmark and standards. Wonderful. Marcelo Mosebi says to make sure that quantities mixed are balanced. Yakubu says to make informed decision. Awesome. Thank you so much for those responses. So in addition to what you have, let me stop sharing this first and then share the slide again. Yes, Sam Donald says quality assurance is important, e.g. for food we take, we want right nutrients. Awesome. Thank you. I think those are very, very valid reasons on why we are interested in making comparisons. Okay, yeah. So the other reason why we want to make comparisons is to help us understand the relative sizes and magnitude of numbers and quantities. I think most of you have measured. You have also mentioned when you're going for shopping, you want to determine who is selling more or less of something. And also, number comparison is very important for foundational math concepts. So for example, if you want learners to learn about addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, they need to have a foundational understanding of number comparison. And of course, decision making has been mentioned. Okay, now, so at PhET, we have this specific simulation, and this simulation is called number compare. And I will not say so much about this simulation. What I would like you to do, I would like you to either scan this code. It is going to take you directly to number compare PhET simulation, or let me drop a link to number compare PhET simulation. Or Shola, if you can help me drop a link to the number compare PhET simulation. And I want to give it just a minute so that everyone is on that simulation before we proceed. So if you get to the simulation, play around with it, explore it, make as many mistakes as you can with it. Just play around with it and make discoveries and just note things that you discover with that PhET simulation. What do you notice as you play with that simulation? So you can scan that code. It is going to take you directly to that PhET simulation. Alternatively, in the chat, my colleague Shola has dropped a link that takes you directly to that PhET simulation. So click on it and go to that PhET simulation. And when you're on that PhET simulation, play with it. I'm going to give you 3 minutes, 3 whole minutes to play around with that simulation. And as you play with that simulation, I want you to just note down things that you notice as you play around with that simulation. And again, what discoveries do you make as you just make changes to that simulation, move things around and just find out like what are the discoveries you make about that PhET simulation. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to do that. And if you come across something interesting, please drop it in the chat or feel free to unmute. My colleague Shola is going to make sure that you are able to speak about the things that you've discovered about that PhET simulation. So the PhET simulation is number compare. I've given you 3 minutes to play around with that PhET simulation. As you play with that PhET simulation, tell me the things that you notice, and also things that you wonder about the simulation, and some of the discoveries that you make on that simulation. And as soon as you do that, you can drop in the chat, some of the things that you have discovered, the discoveries you've made, or things that you've noticed about that particular simulation. Okay, you have 1 more minute. There are several ways you can access that PhET simulation. One, you can go directly to the website and be able to access it online. Secondly, you can download it so that it's on your computer, and then you're able to use that PhET simulation. And the third way is to install the app and then particularly go to that PhET simulation. Okay, so let me just quickly check. What do you notice? What have you noticed about that PhET simulation? Let me actually stop sharing this and go directly to the PhET simulation itself. Okay. So you can drop in the chat things that you've noticed about the simulation. Or you can unmute yourself and let us know the things that you've noticed about that particular PhET simulation. Okay. Okay, so I have one response in the chat. Sam Donald Karen says the sim allows you to choose the image, edit its number in both playing field, and the sim will automatically give you where the images are same size, greater or smaller. So Sam, may I ask you to maybe share your screen and just show us what you're talking about? If you can share your screen, Sam Donald Karen, just share your screen and show us what you're saying, that the sim allows you to choose image, edit its number in both playing field, and sim will automatically give you where the image are same size, greater than or smaller than. Sam, are you able to share your screen? Shola, can you allow Sam to share his screen? Ashutosh Dubey says comparing two numbers to see which is greater or less.
Isaac, someone is asking to share. Sam, do you want him to share?
Yes, please. Allow Sam and Ashutosh to be able to share screens. You can also, yes. So Sam, let's go with Sam first, and then we can go to Ashutosh.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yes. It's not giving me the option. I think it's still working on it. Option of share.
Okay.
Not there. Yes, here.
Ashutosh, are you able to share your screen?
Well, I am also not able to share my screen. I'm just able to unmute and speak.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you
So
mind
maybe
checking again?
Okay.
Do you mind checking the options you have now?
The options
Not available, is it?
is not available. It's chat,
Okay.
is raise the hand, is question and answer, and show captions. And amongst the captions, we have my speaking language, view full transcript, and caption settings.
Okay. So maybe as Shola is still working on that.
Okay.
So Sam, I have as Sam and Ashutosh, I
Yes.
have the screen here. So tell me what I should do next.
Click on compare
So
screen.
Yes. I click on compare screen, and then
Yes, and then let's choose one of the images on the playing at the bottom there. Images, select an apple. Select an apple at the bottom there.
Okay.
Yes, you can see the apple goes there. There is that upper arrow showing upwards next to the
This
apple.
one, right?
Click on it. Yes, so that you add the apples to the thing. Or direct. Okay. Yes. Click again. So that will show even at the top there are two apples which have been added. Okay. On the right side, go to the right playing ground on the right side.
Yeah.
Yes. Click on apple again. Yes. Increase the number by that arrow. 1, 2, and make it 3. Thank you. Okay, 5 is 5. Okay. So at the top there, you can see that there are 3 apples on the left-hand side and 3 apples on the right-hand side. So on that, yes, at the top there, can you click on that box where the cursor is? No, just click on the downward arrow where it shows 3 is equals to 3. Downward arrow. Yes, click there. Yes, now you can see that one apple has been dropped, and then the sign in between changes. This side is 2, the other side is 3, and then it gives you the right is assigned to use between these 2 boxes. 2 is less than 3. These are some of the things that I picked. I've also picked that you can use various homework. Can you click on the dog? At the bottom on the left-hand side, dog. Image of a dog.
The image of a dog, yes.
Yes. You see, instead of apples, there are dogs. And then still you are comparing the numbers. So whether you have chosen this image or different images on both sides. The simulation is on the comparison, the numbers. That's what I picked, whereas I play with the simulation. And at the bottom there.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's fine. I'm done.
Awesome. Thank you
Thank you.
so much, Sam.
Awesome.
And let's hear from Ashutosh. If you're able to share your screen, if not, you can just tell me what I should do. Let me reset this.
Oh, well, I still am not able to share my screen. Definitely, I would be like more than happy to share like what I have learned in this simulation exercise. Very first, what Sam has quoted and has experienced and has shared after clicking on this comparison button. In continuation to that, I would love to go ahead with this lab part, right? And one more thing that I just want to add in the comparison part is like while you were arranging these images, we can also bring the concept of sabutization, right? For example, if you are able to put three dogs on the left side, yeah, please make three dogs, right? Yeah, this is fine. And in this right box, can we have the four dogs? Well, so the numbers are likely very close to each other, right? So again, it is very much difficult for students, the children, to understand which is greater and which is smaller. So just to minimize this problem, we can click on the sabotaging component. This is on the left side of the first box, which is in the form of like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, please click on that. So here now the all the three dogs are at one place, and the same we can do with the another box on the right side. So the comparison over here is like very much clear. The children would be able to recognize very clearly like which box the dogs in which box is like having the greater number or larger number, or the number of dogs is on the higher side. Another thing that I just want to share is like after clicking on the lab. Well, in the initial screen, like where the Sam had also shared in the comparison part where we have learned the comparing with the simulation. Now it is the time to present it in the abstract form. Definitely there would be pictures, there would be numbers, but still we are not writing it on the copy or like notebook, but yes, on the screen itself, we are practicing it in the form of images. For example, taking the example of 3 less than 7 itself, right? So what we can do is, yeah, we can drag the 3 downwards. That could be done. But prior to that, it is important for us what I have done initially in the previous screen. Can we have the 3 dogs again from the bottom? Yeah. Lovely. Well, can we have the another set of 5 dogs? Let's take 5 only, not the 7 one. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, please. Oh, well, so what actually we are doing, we are just extending what we have done in the comparison screen, right? So again, we are available with the 3 dogs and 5 dogs. Uh, in continuation to this, it would have been asked like how we do represent 3, right? Then we would have bringing the digit 3, what we have done earlier, and then digit 5. Now, how we represent it, like which number is bigger, then we will go move to the extreme right and we'll have the symbol, because this symbol was also being presented over there in the comparison screen. So we will have the symbol from the topmost left component. Yeah. And where we put it in the center of the numbers, right? Both the numbers. Still, the images and digits are far from each other. We can bring it much more closer. So these are like different practices, different ways of representing, different ways of making things clear, making things understood to students. So this is something what I have learned out of this simulation exercise. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ashutosh and Sam, for taking us through that. There are a few more feedback in the chat. And what I would like to say is there are quite a number of things that both Sam and Ashutosh has showed us in this simulation. So if I may just go back to the simulation itself and just highlight first this number compare simulation. They have shown us that has two screens. We have the compare screen and then we have the lab screen. So first, Sam showed us this, and he was able to show that there is a play area here. There is another play area here. We have objects of different varieties that you can select of your own choice. For example, you have puppies, you have apples, butterflies, a ball. So you can use it to represent, the numbers that are just being, brought here. And then you also have another option here of, comparing. Then there's this 10 frame box that Ashutosh was able to highlight, which forces this to be able to be, arranged in a particular order. Then there are a few more things that we have. So for example, we have these numbers. You can maybe start by hiding them so that, maybe you don't want maybe the learners to have so much on the screen in the first instance before you just dive in. So at this point, let me just hide it and unhide it so that you know those controls. And then we have a few more components here. So for example, there is these signs that are in between here that you can hide and unhide. And then maybe one more thing that was not mentioned is these little like tiles here. As you put up the numbers, you can actually be able to see that comparison here. And then here you can actually hide it or unhide it from that component. And then there's also this number line that just gives you an idea of how those numbers compare. Okay, so let me start by hiding this and hide this and hide this. And actually, let me just refresh this. And what I'm going to do is I'll put it this number compare and then hide this, hide this, hide this, literally hide everything and just maybe even hide this. And then maybe just begin by putting some objects, put some objects on this screen. Just randomly put some objects on this screen. Okay, so my first question is, how many puppies do we have on this play area? How many puppies do we have? Aha, Ashutosh says 5. Someone else? Someone else who can tell us? Okay, awesome. Okay, so many responses and everyone saying 5. So Priska, how can we verify that there are 5 puppies? Are you able to unmute? How can we verify that there are 5 puppies? Priska, Safa Bukleka says many. Can someone tell us how we can verify that there are 5 puppies? There are 5 puppies here. Anyone? Aha. Jeremiah says we can click at the top. So that's one alternative. You can, of course, click at the top. Click at the top to see the total. That's one alternative. Yes, Priska?
Can we allow us to speak?
Yes, please.
Okay. At the bottom of that playground, where there is 1, if you click on, click there, it will show 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another student who can ask the student to count the number for how many ones are in this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is another idea that can entertain.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, Sam.
Or you
Sam
click-
said they
Or you can
count.
also click on the total at the top there. Just click on the total at the top.
Yes.
Yes, that is the number. You can verify.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Okay, great. Okay, so let me bring back this and hide this again. And then I'm going to open this other screen. And let me pull up, just a number of puppies. Again, how many do we have? How many puppies do we have? Someone says 7. Someone else says 9. Gertrude says 9. Jeremiah says 9. So again, just like Sam said, we can count here. So we can also count these other puppies and just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and verify that they are 9 of them. Yes, Ashutosh?
Well, there is one more aspect to this, like identifying the number of puppies or the object. In mathematics, there is a concept of subitizing, right? Which is an ability to look at a small set of objects and instantly know how many there are. The number of objects without counting them, right? So over here, Jess, what actually you are asking, we can click on the at the extreme left or the right component, this arranging. Yeah. So it is very much clear, like there is a set of 5, 1 and another set of 4, where there is one is like 9. So this is how it could be clearly identified that how many number of puppies are there.
Awesome, thank you. So yes, Ashutosh has highlighted the concept of just like, looking at these 2 sets of puppies and just without even counting, trying to be able to tell which of the 2 quantities is bigger. And when you use this 10 frame, actually, you can clearly see that this set is bigger than this set. And then you can just count them and clearly see that here, there are 5, and this one, there are 9. We can also change this and change this to, like a different, variety. So here is like, we were comparing similar, like number of puppies. But the other thing that we could do is we could also just introduce another variable, which is just another variety. And now the learners can be able to compare between, the number of puppies and the number of butterflies. I've just kept that number to be the same as before. And you can be able to ask learners to, first of all, like to tell you, like, how can they tell that those are 5 puppies and these are 9 butterflies? And then you can ask them, is there anything that is the same? Or is there anything that is different with these 2 sets of objects? And then they can be able to tell you, like, there is differences in terms of quantity. So you can use this to help learners understand matches that involve the same number of objects or matches that involve different number of objects, and also to compare 2 sets of different objects as they look at this. Awesome. So let's let's carry on, and I'll go back. I'll go back to my slide before I come back to this, and I would like to give you a little story, and let me do so share screen, and here is my story. Here is my story. Okay. So I have a story that is put up. It's a true or false story. And this is the story that I have. I'll allow you 30 seconds to read the story. Allow you 30 seconds to read the story. Okay, now you've read the story. Thomas has 13 blue shirts and 4 green shirts. Thomas has 13 blue shirts and 4 green shirts. Thomas has 13 blue shirts and 4 green shirts. He uses the following equation to represent his shirts. He uses the following equation to represent his shirts. And the equation is 16 is equal to 13 plus 4. Maybe before I ask another set of questions, is this equation true or false? Just type it in the chat. Okay, let me see responses. False, 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 false. Everyone says false. Okay, please don't answer like teachers and grown-ups. At least we must have someone say true. Okay, okay, so why do you say false? Why do you say false? Anyone who can be able to unmute?
Okay, can I say something?
Yes, please.
Yes, first, 16 is not equal to 13 plus 4
Why?
because if you add 13 plus 4, it will give you 17.
Uh-huh.
And secondly, if he wants to only use 16 plus equal to 13 plus 4 to represent his equation, it has no description of what he is representing.
Okay. Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, now I have a follow-up question. And this follow-up question, I would like you to use the number comparison PhET simulation to be able to answer the question. And if you can, like, share your screen and show us. So how can we represent the number of blue and green shirts that Thomas has using an equation? And I would like you to use the PhET simulation, number compare PhET simulation, to represent the number of blue and the number of green shirts that Thomas has. I see a lot of people typing in the chat. I would like you to use the PhET simulation to represent the number of blue shirts and the number of green shirts, and the equation using the PhET simulation. So take your time, go to the number compare PhET simulation, represent it in your own way, and then share it with us. So I'd like you to use the simulation to model that story that Thomas has 13 blue shirts and 4 green shirts, and also show us the total number of shirts using the PhET simulation. If you have, please feel free to share your screen, and then we can have a look at it together. If you're ready, just type in the chat, and then my colleague Shola will be able to allow you to share the screen. Oh, Priska says the link is not active for you. Are you using a mobile phone? Are you using a computer? Oh, mobile phone. I suggest that you use the app. It will be much easier. Okay, great. Sam, are you able to share your screen? I see your hand is up. You can share your screen. Sam, are you able to share your screen?
No, sir.
Okay.
The settings, they don't allow us.
Okay. So let me load the simulation, and then you tell me how to represent that with the simulation. So share this and share this. Okay. So tell me what to do.
Compare.
So compare screen.
Is it going to or the left? Yes. Compare. Then you can choose one of the objects on the left side and populate that number 16.
So should I choose apples or puppy or butterfly or ball?
Anything, any of those.
Any. Let's use this because we have not used the ball. And then?
And then you populate the number 16. You can take advantage of those boxes on the corner there so that to put them on order.
Okay.
Yes, there are 16. And then this side, we start with number 18.
18.
Yes, you can choose the same balloons.
Okay. And then?
You can choose apples or whatever, anything. Okay. Apple.
Okay.
Yes. And then you first count 13. Make 13.
I count?
You make them 13 to represent 13. Yes, and then you click on that box also to put them on right. So this is 13. And then you're going to cater for plus. So how do you cater for plus? You add another 4 on top. Let's add 4 at the bottom there.
So I add 4 on the left side or right side?
On the right side, on the right side.
So I add 4.
Yes. You click 4 times, 2, 3, and 4, like that. Okay. You can also click on that box so that it can arrange in line. Okay. And then you can give them chance. If they are the keys, you can give them, okay. So the first block has got how many? 5 items. The right side, 5 items. They balance the second one, 5, 5. The third one, 5, 5. And then the last one. It creates a difference. So on the right side, you have got at the bottom line, you have got 2 more, but on the left side, you have got 1 more. So that equation that 16 is equals to cannot be the same. That's how I'll explain it to them, demonstrate to them.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So that is Sam's way of representing the problem. Do we have someone else who has a different way to represent that story to learners in a different way using this number play PhET simulation? Okay, I have to check in the chat to see. Yes? Okay. Who else is able to unmute and maybe tell me, and then I'm able to do exactly what he or she says? Yes,
If you'd
Priska.
like to speak, raise your virtual hand.
Yes, I see Priska's hand is up.
Please, can you go to the left?
Okay, let's begin from here.
Yeah, compare.
Compare.
Yes. Yeah, we can choose choose the balls for the left. You put
How many do I put?
put 13 put 13 balls. Yes, put 3 apples. 13, I said 13, 13, 13.
Oh,
1 and
13.
3.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
13.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yes. 3 apples.
On the left side or right side?
Still on the left side, you put 3. Is it possible to put 2 different objects?
No, once I click on this, it turns to apples, so no.
Yeah, because the issue is we have 2 different objects to represent here.
Okay.
So yes. So if we cannot represent only dogs, because we have blue shirts and we have a green shirts.
Okay.
So if we cannot represent the 2 objects, meaning that the equation is obviously false to compare with this.
So do you think we can try it with the lab screen? I don't know
Okay.
if the lab can do that, but let's try. 13. Please help me to count so that I don't put more. How many are those?
There are 12.
Okay.
13. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
try to see if you can put 3 apples. No, still on this side.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Yes, and then we go on the other side. You
Uh-huh.
can add a number there which will give us 16.
So like
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So this way we do the same. You put 13 dogs and 4 apples.
Okay. So let me do this. Oh, I have actually run out of dogs.
Yeah, but that's not an issue. You can continue with the apples.
Okay.
So yes.
So tell me when I should stop.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think, wait a minute. I think there are 16. It has to be 17. One more. Yes.
Okay.
And then we put the less than sign.
The less than sign.
Yes.
Which is the less than sign?
The first sign
Okay.
on the top right, right.
Where do I put it?
You put it in the middle of the 16 objects and the yes, and then you have to put a number up.
Okay.
17.
Okay, so
17.
sorry. So why should I put it in the middle?
Because we want to compare.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. I think that is okay.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Awesome. So
Yes.
thank you again for having your own way of representing that problem. So what I wanted to mention is that you can actually get sorry, let me see. You can actually get students to represent their own stories using this simulation to be able to to represent that problem. I see there are two more hands. So Priska and Sam. Did you want to say something, Sam and Priska?
No, it was the previous hand. It was the previous hand.
Okay, great. So okay, so I will. I mean, we've seen on how you can just get kids to be able to do simple counting, comparing number of objects, with an emphasis of recognizing that either these numbers are equal or they are different. And then we have also used this sim just to look at a true and false story. So using the sim in order to determine if a given expression is true or false, and you've gone ahead to tell the story in two different ways using that PhET simulation. So, and this is just like very basic examples of how you can be able to use this simulation to help learners to either to be able to count, to be able to compare, and then to be able to tell stories using the PhET simulation. So because of time, I would like just to maybe pause there, stop there, and maybe just get questions from the audience or comments from the audience, particularly about this number compare PhET simulation or everything that has been presented. So I'll stop sharing my screen and then just allow room for questions from the audience.
Please feel free to raise your hand or type in the chat if you have questions.
Ashutosh has, yes, Ashutosh, your hand is up.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to ask, is it possible in case if the recording, like definitely this question is not related to today's session, but since all the sessions had been very much informative and very much like it has enhanced our knowledge and the practices in classroom as well, like how we can make it much better, right? So, but due to some circumstance, I had not been able to attend the previous session. So is it possible for you to arrange the recording in case if it is available for the previous session?
Yes, thank you. Very good question. Yes, we have all the recordings from the first one, the second one, and this one. And also next week we'll be having like practicing classroom teachers who will be able to share. So we'll have all these recordings shared with either whether you attended or if you did not attend, I will have these recordings shared. Great. Sam, then at the knee.
Thank you, Zach. My comment is that I think the simulation is good for those who are teaching the student at that level. Or when you look at the situation where we find that in Africa, there's this issue of resources and resources. I think for those who have got gadgets, yes, it's a way to go. It's good. It can help them greatly. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sam. Adeni.
Yes, good evening, sir. Hello, sir.
Good
sir.
evening. Can you speak a bit louder, Adeni?
Okay, good evening, sir. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Okay, it's a job well done. Well done for.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, great. So maybe just to finish off, I would like to say that we have opportunities for continued learning. We have a full free online course that is scheduled to start sometimes in 2 weeks' time. And that course is called Number Sense for Primary Education with PhET Simulations. And we are going to open this course at no cost for any educator who is interested. And it's going to run from July to November on Coursera platform. And the course will be about 15 hours for anyone who is interested. And you learn how to facilitate lesson using number play PhET simulation. This number compare PhET simulation will go a bit deeper. And then we have also another simulation called Maker 10 that you'll be able to learn on how you can facilitate lessons related to those PhET simulations. And this is very powerful because it can help like improve early math concepts, including counting, cardinality, conservation of cardinality, comparison, and so forth. So if you're interested in the course, I'm dropping a link in the chat for you to express interest. And then once you have expressed interest, you'll be sent an email that will invite you to register for the course, and we'll also receive a detailed syllabus and invitation to join the course. So express interest by joining that course. Again, the course is 15 hours. Anyone who is interested is focusing on number sense for primary education with PhET simulations as a resource for teaching and learning. And lastly, we've had this series of webinars. This is the third series of webinar. And on July 17th, we'll be having case studies from classroom teachers. So from the beginning, it has been us sharing with you on how you can be able to use these PhET simulations to teach particular concepts. But next 17th July, we are going to have like practicing teachers who are going to share case studies like how have they used these particular PhET simulations to teach concepts for foundational numeracy or foundational numeracy. And if you're interested in sharing in the next session, please make sure that you drop me an email. Let me just drop my email here so that you can be able to write to me. And then next week, you can have an opportunity to share, like, how have you used this PhET simulation in your own teaching of foundational numeracy. I'll also put up my WhatsApp number in case you want to reach out via WhatsApp. Just say, send me a text message and say, I would like to share my case study of how I use it in my own context. So that is my WhatsApp number as well. So you can either write to me or send me a WhatsApp message and just say, hey, I would like to share in the next webinars session how I use these simulations for foundational literacy. So thank you so much for everyone for, first of all, creating the time to join, and two, for participating in this session. And I really appreciate the time that you made to come for this particular session. So back to you, Shola.
Thanks a lot, Zach. Thanks everyone for making time to join today's session. We hope you found it insightful as always, and we hope that you'll also you'll also join the final session just as Zach has described. For those who have requested to see the recording, we sent it out via email already. But just once this is uploaded and available, please expect another email that would have the link to all 3 recordings. Alternatively, just visit PhET Simulations on YouTube, and you'll find all of the recording for this session and also other recordings that you might find relevant to your classroom practice. So we'll draw the curtain here. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you again at the final session in 2 weeks. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.